There's hardly anything more terrifying than the sinking of a massive passenger ship in the middle of the ocean. And yet, by some strange twist of fate, two major civilian ocean liner disasters happened just 3 years apart, at the start of the 20th century, practically back-to-back in historical terms. But when it comes to what people know, the Titanic is far more famous than the sinking of the Lusitania. And for that reason, the story behind the Lusitania's sinking might actually be even more horrifying than the tragic events aboard the Titanic. Back in 1912, no one could have predicted that just 2 years later, a war would break out, one we now call World War I. By the spring of 1915, with the war already in full swing, the ocean liner Lusitania was still hailed as one of the largest and fastest passenger ships in the world. On this voyage, her cargo hold carried not only fine foods and champagne for first-class passengers, but also crates of ammunition and other military supplies. But on May 7th, events unfolded that made tragedy unavoidable. At exactly 2:00 p.m., as he was heading back to base, U-boat Captain Walter Schweiger spotted a large ship through his periscope, sailing with no escort. At 2:10 p.m., Schweiger gave the order, and a torpedo was fired straight at the Lusitania. The explosion tore through the starboard side of the ship, obliterating nearby lifeboats and ripping a hole just below the waterline, large enough to swallow a steam locomotive. What sealed its fate was a second, much more powerful explosion that followed just 30 seconds later. As a result, out of 48 lifeboats on board, only 6 from the starboard side actually made it to the water. The massive Lusitania slipped beneath the waves at 2:28 p.m., just 18 minutes after the torpedo struck. The death toll from the Lusitania tragedy was 1,197. Only 763 people survived, just about 40% of those on board.